Hi guys, it's Lisa Wright, and you are welcome back to my Anxious Peaks podcast. I'm super excited to have you here yet again. You guys are my faithful listeners, and I always have the best of content and, something to make you think. Today is another day, and today I will be talking about something that came in the shower. Usually most of my ideas actually come in the shower, so I'm not surprised. But this happened literally before the shower. So, waiting for water to run, and all of a sudden, the tap goes dry. Now, it's not like water has never finished before, but this morning was different because I was in a hurry to go to work. Before, I usually didn't really have where to go. But this time, I was going to be late to work. So, what did I do? I had to wait, obviously. There was really no substitute for that. So I waited for the water to fill up. And, eureka moment, I thought of this episode. Now, why did I think of it? Generally, I've heard this statement many times before said by different people, but it usually just revolves around the same thing. Givers should have limits because takers don't. And for me, this time it came with another statement. For you to give, you must have a source. For you to have an unlimited source or unlimited giving, you must have an unlimited source. Now, the statement that givers have to have a limit is, of course, very correct. Extremely correct. And I'm not even talking material things. I'm not even talking money or items or, maybe things you don't need anymore. No, I'm talking of the immaterial things that we really don't quantify as much as we should. I'm talking about your time. I'm talking about your dedication. I'm talking about your care. The things that you think you can't quantify need to either have limits or an unlimited source. The amount of love that you give can only come from a place where you have love to give. You can't give when you're running empty. And if you think of that literally, you can't pour out from an empty cup. Yeah, that's another thing that's always said. You can't give when you're empty. You can't give when you're dry. And I think that's actually one of the problems that we have. You're pouring out so much and you're forgetting to fill yourself back. You're forgetting to take care of yourself. You're forgetting to love yourself. You're forgetting to find your own happiness. Find the source of your happiness and constantly come from that place. Constantly bring out happiness from where you are getting it. Not trying to do it by yourself, trying to, be there for everybody at every point in time without remembering to go back and refill. Go back and refill your love, your strength, your happiness. You're everyone's pillar but yourself. You're the supportive person, but you have no support. You don't need to run dry and burn out before you actually remember that you have a source. You don't need to be empty, depressed, hurt before you realize that you came from a place of love. You came from a place where you were overwhelmed with the amount of happiness that surrounded you. And you've left that place. And now you're empty and you've forgotten where you came from. You've forgotten who you really were. You've forgotten how you even got there in the first place. The reason why you started loving deeper and caring more and, going the extra mile for people. You've forgotten the reason why you did that in the first place. Origin stories are important because they lead They leave breadcrumbs back to your source, telling people about where you came from, the reason why you're doing what you're doing. One reason origin stories are so important is because they help you track back to your source. When you tell your origin story, you're telling people where your source is, where your joy was born, where your innermost desire to give was born. It helps you, not only them, but it helps you remember where you came from. And sometimes just remembering takes you back to the source. Sometimes you may need to go on your knees and pray and ask. Sometimes you may need to go and visit people. Sometimes you may need to just return to the source. And that's fine. Sometimes you might need to take some time off to realign yourself. Because sometimes we actually do forget where we came from, why we're doing what we're doing, why we are here. If you've ever been in that place where you had to question, why did I even choose to do this? Like there were other choices and you chose this one. Why? There were other places that you could have been. Many things you could have ended up doing, but you're doing this particular one. Why? An unlimited output needs an unlimited source. For things that are even material, money, you do need an unlimited source to give limitlessly. You need to have more than enough, or just enough, or even a source where you don't even need to find out what's enough or not, because you know that the source is unlimited. If I could take out as much money as I wanted from the bank, I wouldn't care about the price of some things. I wouldn't care about how much I could give because I knew it was unlimited. There was no cap, there was no maximum. If everything we needed to do came from an unlimited source, if everything you ever wanted came from an unlimited source, what would you do? How would you behave? How would you act? How would you see the world? I have a lot of things that I draw from an unlimited source. And it's a lot easier to give when I know that I don't need to count how many zeros are behind or how much of it is going, as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing with the source. So think about it. What's your unlimited source? All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. It's been amazing having you here. Thanks for staying till the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And this will push the algorithm to do what it does best. Send it to the best people who should listen to this. I'll see you next time on our next episode where we'll take things up a notch. See ya. Bye.